If you ever wondered why it is possible to start a Korg Volca sample from the mix and stop it and start it and stop it, but the same is not possible with the modular, then stick around, I try to explain. The communication runs by synchronization pulses. The Volcas have two modes in which they can be set up. The first mode is the 1 pulse every 2 steps mode. Then the Volca sends or receives 1 pulse every 2 steps. The other mode is 1 pulse for each step. With every step, a synchronization pulse is being sent. This mode is also called the 2ppqn mode, which stands for 2 pulses per quarter note. This is a quarter note. And the faster mode is called 4ppqn mode, which stands for 4 pulses per quarter note. But this mode is the same as the 1pps mode. And 1pps stands for 1 pulse per step. These pulses are being transmitted over the tip of this TRS connector. The ring has no signal. I cannot identify any signal on this. You see a little bit of crosstalk from the pulses and you see a floating ground, and that's all. And the sleeve is ground. The only way to synchronize the devices is via pulses or no pulses. There is a big difference between the Volca Mix and all other Volca devices. I have now connected the synchronization output to this logic analyzer. And if I hit the play button, you can see that the pulses will start to transmit. If I hit the play button again, the mix stops and the pulses stop. If I hit play, the pulses start, stop, start, stop. If I do now the same with the Volca sample, there is a difference. The sync pulses appear even if the Volca is not running. If I hit play, you can see a slight adjustment in the distance between the pulses to synchronize with my pressing of the play button. And if I hit stop, the pulses continue. So there is no way for a device being slaved to a sample or a modular or a FM or drum to know when the master has stopped. So how does this translate into making music with the Volcas? At the moment I have used a mono cable just to show that the sync is also working with a mono cable, although I don't know which is the standard delivery cable for the Volcas. The mix is paused, so he sends no sync outputs. The sample is on play, so as soon as I start, the sample starts from the last position. There were pulses and the sample advanced, stops. Okay, now I pause the sample and send pulses, but the sample does not start because she's in pause mode. Now I arm the sample and tell her to start with the next pulses and start from the beginning. Now to the FM and the modular. Also synced only by this cable, this time stereo. If I start the FM, the modular doesn't care. If I stop the FM, the modular doesn't care. If I start the modular starts from the first step, which is okay because she receives sync pulses all the time. So it's your turn as the guy who makes the live music to start at the right moment to have the music sync up. So unfortunately it is not possible to synchronize a start or a stop when using the Volcas or pocket operators, as opposed to, for example, MIDI, which has a start byte and a stop byte and a continue byte, and also a much higher resolution. MIDI has 24 pulses per quarter note. As a last thing, I wanted to show you the synchronization output signals. I have hooked one probe of the oscilloscope to the tip, and the tip shows the sync pulses, and the other probe of the oscilloscope goes to the ring. The ring is this one, and as I mentioned earlier, I cannot find anything of importance there. I can I can hit play, and you see the slight deviation in the distance from the pulses if they synchronize to my play press, but there is nothing important on the ring signal. I can zoom a bit in and try to show you the crosstalk I was talking about. So there is a floaty ground and some crosstalk when the signals are switching. But that is basically it. Thank you for watching.